So, good evening, everybody, and welcome to the second episode of the Eurovisn't podcast. I am Aviera from Luxembourg, and with me, of course, is Sweden's finest, Lauren.
Yay, it's me, Sweden's finest. How are you doing, Aviera?
I'm okay. Yeah, I'm happy to be back, and with all these wonderful people sharing the evening.
Yes.
We love to see
Especially Discord's finest, Craig.
Discord's Scotland's finest bot. Yeah, we love Craig. Craig's a good lad. Yeah.
You know, I went to a bar and I asked, give me your finest. And they said, we'll have a pint of Craig.
Oh, this is very pertinent. We're off to a flying start. Bomber of Cymru says, fuck, marry, kill, Craig, easy poll, and birthday bot.
Wow. You know, fuck, marry, kill should be something that we just do on the EV podcast. That would be like a good bit.
That would. Well,
fuck,
why
marry,
don't
kill, Craig, easy poll, and birthday bot. Now, these are all three bots from the Eurovisn't Discord server. Craig being the one that's recording this very podcast. Easy poll being the one that you create polls with. And birthday bot being the one that tracks all the birthdays. They are all very helpful. I would not want to kill any of them. But if I had to give up one, I would say the birthday bot, so that's the one I'm killing. And Craig is so fine. I'll fuck him. I'll shag him. And Easy Poll would be the one I'm marrying because she's so helpful and beautiful and aesthetic.
Oh. Oh my god. All right.
Your turn.
Okay. Oh, I gotta do this too, have I? Okay. So I would kill Craig because like Craig is he him, I guess. And like I don't wanna marry or get in the sheets with somebody called Craig, Like it doesn't have my energy.
Because he's male?
Not because he's a man, but because he doesn't pass the Luke Black test, let's say, Anybody called Craig is giving like 45-year-old divorced geography teacher lives in Grimsby, Then yeah. What do you mean I'm so homophobic? I'm being heterophobic, I guess.
Michael from Switzerland says homophobico, actually, specifically.
Oh wow. Well, thanks for the casual misgendering.
So who's the queer-phobic one here now?
Exactly. Uno reverse card.
Absolutamente.
So that leaves birthday bot and easy poll. Okay. I would get acquainted in the biblical sense with easy poll because easy poll has got a poll, so bring it on,
Yeah, no, I see a lot of support for the birthday bot, and I just want to say, people remember my birthday. People remember my birthday here. I feel like enough of a celebrity to not need the birthday bot.
Oh, but get me here. Easy poll. Well, I was divided, but easy poll will constantly be asking questions of you, and that can get aggravating. You wake up next to easy. If you're married to easy poll, you wake up, and easy poll is like, "Who are you? Who are we? What are we? What is this?" And it's just aggravating. Whereas easy poll, if you're just enjoying their poll, then it's happy enough. Whereas birthday bot remembers everything, so you could fill it with all kinds of things, and birthday bot would always remember, and that's beautiful.
Okay, last time on the EV podcast, we we started going through the Eurovisn't 1 entries. We didn't quite finish. We didn't quite get to the last one.
Well, intentionally so, because we spent a while talking about a bunch of different other stuff. We said originally, like, oh, this is the EV1 podcast, but in reality, these podcasts are going to be about dozens of different things.
Literally anything that comes to our mind that very second, because we have severe ADHD and an instant need for gratification.
What? Speak for yourself, girl. I mean, severe ADHD, yes. You're saying I need immediate gratification?
If you're thinking about something, you have to get it out there, yes.
Oh, yeah. That is
Which
true.
I
Fair
also
enough.
suffer from, definitely.
I put my hands up on that one, for sure. But yes,
Vamos.
so we got through the first 6 songs, and then we were consciously saying, well, we're not going to do the rest of the songs any justice if we just speed through them. Let's save them for another day. So, we good.
No, okay. So we got to song number 6.
So we
what
got
was the way that we said that you can copy the x.com links and have them embed properly?
VX Twitter.
VX Twitter. Yes.
Yeah, VX Twitter. So here we go.
I know. See that back in Eurovisn't 1, we had this like Wikipedia like grand final graphic, and it's funny to look back at, because this makes this contest weirdly believable.
I love all the red links except for like 3 countries.
Yeah, only Switzerland, Albania, Luxembourg, Norway, Spain, and the United Kingdom had pages on the Eurovisn't wiki by the time of the grand final. Star Arrest is not just awards. Michael from Switzerland says, sometimes I forget Star Arrest is not just awards.
Oh, yes. Star Arrest is love. Star Arrest is life.
Star Arrest is the first ever winner of your contest. Learn your EV history.
Yes. Yeah. Like, why would we just randomly pick this name? Star Arrest. Like, it's because
I wanted to bring Star Arrest to Melodifestivalen so many fucking times. Of course, I would never do it without Nezumi approving it. Although you could do that in the first few editions. You could just steal someone artist, because we didn't have like non-fungible property yet by that time. But yeah, I kept asking Nezumi. She kept saying no. I really wanted to have Star Arrest on. I thought it would be like the biggest gag. The funny thing is, Star Arrest was like 20 back in EV1. They're still like 45.
Well, you know,
they can still come back. I just need to convince Nezumi for once. She's not even participating in Eurovisn't anymore. Just give me Star.
I remember you were trying to get her to give you Synthétique for me to sing that song, remember, as well?
She gave me Synthétique. She didn't pass the first round.
No, this was later on. This was like EV16 or something.
In MV16, I wouldn't have Synthétique because I only had artists that came top 4.
Wow, we had a whole conversation about this girl, and you were like, I wanted Synthétique, and she said no to all her artists.
I think maybe in the first MV All-Stars, but no, MV All-Stars 10, Melodifestivalen 10, there was definitely
no, it was
a
after
Synthétique
that.
entry.
It was way after that. Yeah, you said, and I quote,
"Oh, you have receipts."
I do. I would be willing to have Synthétique return to MV, granted I get Nezumi's blessing and your vocals. So you were angling for Synthétique in MV16.
MV16?
Yeah.
That is so strange.
Wow.
Although I think originally I had Jenny from Australia for that edition. Yeah, I did. I had Jenny from Australia for that edition. And then she got replaced for XP, who came fourth the previous Eurovisn't.
That's
and
right.
then they were all top four. I was going to have Synthetique just because I wanted like a Macedonian gag in that. But Synthetique was in Melody Festival in 10 as well.
Yeah. Well, Synthetique had added like relevancy by the time of EV16 because of the doll flu.
That is correct, yeah.
Yeah. Wow.
Well,
Oh my God.
there's so many entries in the Melody Festival in 10 like long list that didn't make the actual contest that are so gaggy. It's crazy that they didn't make it.
Oh, we need some of them to like finally make it, you know.
Yeah, maybe I'll bring some of those songs to MV26 or 27.
Yeah, that would be a slay. That would.
Anyway, we were at song number 7, right? We briefly
Any
go?
quay? Any quay?
No, I said anyway. It's my way of laughing at your Irish accent.
Well, that's rude. And also, I wouldn't say any way because there's no H in it, girl.
I know.
Any way would be like this, like any Oaten way, you know?
Yeah, any way works as well.
Oh, girl. Every way that I can.
Seán, previously from Gibraltar, but currently from nowhere, says, wasn't there another Nezumi entry that she voiced that ended up in Melody Festivalen around year 11 or 12? No, I think this refers to Darko Orest.
Oh yeah, that was Star Arrest's father.
That was Star Arrest's father. It was not a character created by Nezumi at all. This was just me being frustrated with my inability to get Star Arrest. So I just created a father for her.
I'm glad in retrospect that I imagine if I'd said no to Anna and you're like, well, I'm going to put in Anna's mother, you know, oh my God.
Wouldn't that be a fucking gag though?
No? Well, yes.
If I gave her an exciting, beautiful song that added to the depth of the greater narrative of Anna.
Oh my God. I wish I said nothing now. But anyway. So where were we? Oh yes. Number 7 on this list, right?
Yeah, vamos.
So number 7, are you sharing the sheets?
Or I wasn't planning on doing it, but I could.
Well, so the people, I can share them if you want.
I would greatly prefer that.
What? Okay.
I like being lazy. I like that's always my preference.
So something, yeah, I get you. So something interesting about Eurovisn't 1 was how 3 of the top 6 were out in the first 7 songs. And
really, I didn't realize that.
Yeah, because we had Monaco, which was in second place in the running order, and they got 4th. Mm-hmm. We had Calm, who was 6th and got 3rd. Mm-hmm. And we had Andorra, who was 7th and got 6th. And also,
true.
So it was really top heavy. This is the entry of Andorra, ¿qué es esto? Main.
Not aspirated enough.
Mother, stop telling me how to pronounce Spanish, girl. There we go.
I feel like you're not Spanish enough. You're not selling it.
Pues voy a cagar en tu puto muerto.
Okay, so that was pretty aspirated. Now try again. You said, ¿qué es esto?
¿Qué?
¿Qué es esto, madre mía?
Madre mía, te voy a cagar encima de todo lo que dice, porque estoy harta ya de tu instrucciones. Okay, you happy?
Yes.
Okay.
No,
So
this
yes,
was Andorra, Manil and Monte Deunidol, which, if I remember correctly, is like an exclamation of shock.
it is. It is.
Deunidol!
Well remembered.
Having
So
unexpectedly stormed the impromptu Andorra national final, Manil and... Is that pronounced Monce? Monche?
Monza.
Monce were ready
Yeah.
to represent the micronation on the international stage. Their song was an indie pop rock effort, reminiscent in some ways of A Monster Like Me. There were so many like unabashed references to that other contest.
Yeah, I'm so glad that we knocked that on the head for the most part after the first few editions, because literally it was so jarring to be creating this universe together, and then EV reference, ESE reference, digo, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Well,
But
and
yes,
there's also Suzanne Georgi in the national selection, which, if I remember correctly, yeah, and I do remember correctly, participated in Eurovisn't too.
yes, Susanna Georgi participated with Voulion Foul a couple years later.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And an additional thing that happened was a couple weeks ago. Yeah, around the confirmation deadline for Eurovision 25, I had messaged, who was it? An old head of delegation, asking if they needed help with an entry, so maybe we could get like a couple entries more for that edition, which was kind of low in participants. And they said they may send Suzanne Georgi for Andorra. And I said, first of all, why? And second of all, it's like, if I had a nickel for every time, I'd have 2 nickels. But why? Why do I have 2 nickels?
Exactly. How did that almost happen twice?
Yeah. Well, it wasn't going to, because I would have put a stop to that either way.
I'm glad. I'm very glad that you would have. Yeah.
You're glad.
But yeah, I'm glad.
Glad.
I'm glad we found each other.
Wow, I listened to that song just the other day. It's such a bop.
It really is. It really is.
Absolutamente.
Also, I love that it name references me and a bunch of other hordes.
Yes. Wow. That should be. That is another jack-off question.
That is another.
Which HUDs are the HUDs referenced in Slug and Slugia's Glid We Found Each Other?
Oh, I remember most.
One of the
them.
mentioned HUDs, by the way, being song number 8 from Eurovisn't 1.
Yes, song number 8 was Marios, and the whole thing was we had 2 HUDs, one called Marius, one called Marios, and
yes,
they were there for a long, long time, both of them.
I wish Marius had stayed, because now we have Mario, and they would both be from Honduras.
Oh yeah, Marius is here, and Marius promised to do a national final a bunch of times, and
we're still waiting.
We're still waiting. Technically, isn't Denmark still reserved to Marius?
Ooh, that is a good question.
I think so. Yeah. By the way, we need to set the claiming deadline, honestly, because
we should. It is reserved for Marius.
Yeah. This was Marius. Yeah.
This was Marius, yes. It was actually one of the favorites to win. It ended up coming 14th. There was a lot of Masked Singer vibe around it because we didn't know who the artist was. And then, like, the artist was revealed, and it's this woman named Marie.
Yes. It was some interesting early promo, you know?
It was very interesting promo, but I kind of expected it to be like a gag. Like, all along, it was her, but it was just a woman.
But it was Marie, you know? What were you expecting? Were you expecting, like, Lady Gaga or what?
No, I wasn't expecting, like, a real person, like, a real-life person. Like, I mean, of course I would be against it now we know with the passage of time, but it could be like all along the artist was the head of delegation. But like, I expect like a gag there that wasn't just another fictional name. Because for all I know, Mystica is equally as fictional as Marie van Geel.
So to do like how Blank Space ended up being Rodrigo, for example.
Yeah, so that's what I was referencing, saying that I wouldn't like it.
Oh my god. So, Felix of France says it was it was just a woman. So are women a disappointment? Quintuple question mark?
I would say some women are a disappointment. I would say when the Polish national selection for Eurovision 2023 ended, we said, oh, it's just a woman. And we were fully within our rights to say that.
Wait, why would you say that?
Because it was just a woman.
What
Instead of the man, it was a disappointment.
A platypus? Wow.
I think song number 9 is a testament to just how much Calm was like inseparable from the visual identity of Eurovision. This was an entry competing against Calm, promoting itself using the Calm imagery.
Oh, and this was one of many. Like,
this was one of many, indeed. Yeah.
Yeah, I think maybe the sheets that didn't have Calm were maybe less than the ones that did. Like, that's something we would have to check.
No creo, but yes, this was a very intense feature of the first Eurovisn't.
So Rijben,
he was
definitely one of the more memorable characters from the first.
For sure.
Like, wasn't this whole thing like just some demented take on the Eurovision movie?
It was. I was just going to say it's one big reference to the Eurovision movie, which feels so anachronistic to me because it doesn't feel like Eurovision 1 came after the Eurovision movie.
Yeah, it feels like Eurovision 1 was like years before that Eurovision movie.
I feel like the Eurovision movie, I mean, I acknowledge that there's been quite a while since then, but I still think that happened after Eurovision 5 or 6.
Exactly. Yeah, it's very surreal. But
it happened a whole year before.
Wow, that is crazy. That is so crazy. But yes, tragic boat incident the night after Katja won EMA, I guess, which killed all contestants, including the winner. Rijben was the only remaining entry, and she refused to board the boat that night. Very successful way of getting into the contest.
No, she came 8th in this Eurovision final and attempted to blow up the 7 that placed above her, which would include your beloved Poix.
Oh my god. The first but not the last attempted terroristic act against my artist.
Yeah, in a very brief amount of time as well. Rijben was then arrested for 15 years, which at the time we didn't know what years meant, so we said that it was until 2036. But then in Melodiefestivalen in 2016, I thought it could be a gag to bring back Rijben, but I could not get in contact with Ben, the Slovenian head of delegation from Eurovision 1, to confirm that I could do that.
That is such a shame.
Rolling 16 was enough of a sleigh without Ivan.
But that would have been a gag. That would have been
It would have been a really nice story that 15 years after she was arrested for 15 years, she comes back to Melfixed.
Oh, but then she blow. I'm imagining that you.
She would
say,
once again blow up one of the Lirias singers.
Oh my god. Yeah, that would be too much to cope with, you know?
Yeah.
So, song number, speaking about things that were a lot to keep up with, the first of the many testaments of Ari's, like, interesting promo.
Yes.
Was Suzanne Audoms featuring Mr. Moo and the Soft Kiss. Now, that's one of the tropes of the early years. That there was like 3 or 4 entries that just directly referenced the Hard Kiss.
Yeah.
That year. There was Julia Sanina who NQ'd.
She wasn't the artist. The artist was, oh my god, I'm going to try to remember. The last name was Akhmetova.
Oh, that's true. That's true. But the song was called
Julia Sanina. And the song was I Love Julia Sanina.
There we go. And the HUD who brought that, literally, the only things they talked about in the EV chat was Julia. Like,
that was fully intentional. Like, I brought her to she and I both lived in Denmark, and we met, I think, a few days before that, or a few days after that, actually. And we met the day after the Eurovision Grand Final. I remember that because she was looking over my shoulder as I was correcting the results. There was a problem with the televotes. I think Lithuania received a few points too little. And I remember she was looking over my shoulder. We were in Malmö, and I was correcting the results of last night's Eurovision 1. Anyway, I sent her the link to join. Or actually, there was no link because it wasn't the Discord area yet. This was Twitter. I sent her the link, and I didn't send her the link. I added her to the group, and she told me, I will participate in Eurovisn't under the one condition that I will spend all of my time there talking about Julia Sanina. And I said, yeah, sure, that seems fair.
And true to the word, that is exactly what happened.
That is exactly what she did, but she did non-qualify because her entire sheet was just Julia Sanina pictures, which is based, but it's not going to get you to the final.
What was I going to say? I remember, imagine people who never lived through that period. Imagine we just have one channel, and
for everything,
for every damn thing, and half the messages are, oh, you didn't even see the worst of it, Gatsper. Like, imagine the era where like 40% of the messages are Julia Sanina, 40% of the messages are Mr. Moo, and then 20% of the messages are everything else. No, it was an experience.
No, that was intense in a way that was genuinely unfair.
It was crazy. But yeah, Mr. Moo, in fact, kind of underperformed compared to what was expected because this was
I cannot tell you how afraid I was of this winning.
And Azerbaijan came so close to winning the next 2 editions as well. Like,
yeah, it won they won the first semi. Like, they won the second semi, I mean.
Sheer force of promo, for sure. Yeah.
They won the second semi, but it kind of died down, the hype, and they came 11th in the final, which is honestly kind of fair.
Yeah. But yeah, Ari was legendary promo. I'm still waiting for his Ukrainian national final to conclude because it started like 9 or 10 EV years ago, and we all voted, and then it just didn't happen. But there we go. 11, Russia, the Squiddies, wig snapping, homophobia.
Yeah, that is a very confusing entry.
It really is. Is this from the same guy who did the Russia the first 3 years? Because there was some really good entries from
I
them.
think so. The song is performed in British English, London Cockney, Thinglish, Californian Valley, Newfoundland English, New Zealand English, and an ungodly amount of misuse of African American vernacular English.
I love the fact they specify London Cockney as if there was Boston Cockney or something, you know? Interesting. Ye child slaying as fuck, alcoholism be, finna not lit arla. Okay.
I like that they acknowledge that this is misuse of
I love
AV.
I love the fact that technically this is a Turkmenistani entry as well, kind of. Because it's funded by Turkmenistan. And people are worshipping the dictator of Turkmenistan in the background. Like, a lot of things going on in this entry, for sure. And then there's Nauru Cockney.
This sheet has so many irrelevant references.
It does. But speaking about a sheet that has, perfectly aged, honestly, Macedonia's winning sheet.
Yeah, oh my god.
This is beautiful.
No, Nezumi was just light years ahead of us in understanding what Eurovisn't actually is.
She really was.
Seán says this would do well today. We are, of course, talking about Signature by Stardust, the winner of Eurovisn't, won for North Macedonia. Seán says this would do well today. Now, I feel like you could say this up until Eurovision 24. But now we're in the video era, and you just don't know. You don't know how to translate Signature into the video format. Because if we still did the system where you could do just a sheet and it would suffice, I guess today you could still do a sheet, but it would just be photos inside the video, audio-less completely, which I don't think would translate as well. This is beautiful. The lyrics are beautiful. The visuals are beautiful. This was such a good first winner because it really shaped Eurovisn't in the way of coming up with a concept and coming up with a graphic design language.
This was so accomplished in all ways. It was. This is kind of like a template for many middle era EV entries in terms of introducing the artist, some nice visuals, lyrics. It's whereas most sheets those days were just a bunch of random stuff, basically. And you can see a logical progression here that was not established yet.
The interval act came after this one. Do you know what that was?
It was that hello, hello, hello song, right?
Yes.
Why?
I don't particularly know. I chose the interval act because I was the host of that edition.
So Swedish.
Hello. I will say to you, I become the happiest person in the world. When you just say to me, hello.
Wow. Well, strange choice. Strange choice. But
coming after Signature, after the break, because that was the midway point of the show, we had another first. After the first winner, we had one of the songs credited as the first song in the history of Eurovisn't.
Oh, and this was super controversial at the time. There were people who were saying,
"It was."
There was a whole movement of Eurovision shouldn't have songs. No way,
Yes, because that was kind of in retrospect, that feels like a really conservative point of view that you can't have songs. You can think out of the box. But that was where we started. We said we're doing a contest where there is no songs. You just submit an artist and a song title, and that is it. And the idea of sheets came from a project that I hosted a month before Eurovisn't, which was the tanking jury.
Tanking jury.
The
Yeah.
tanking jury.
The tanking
where
jury.
we
Oh my God.
ranked songs, but as we ranked them, we could see how that would impact the result. And we were encouraged to rank like exaggeratedly low entries that we wanted to do worse. And so that created really interesting results. I remember TikTok by Albina won the 2021 ranking.
That was so random. Yeah. You know what? We should bring that back as an EV thing. But just do it for
to rank Eurovision songs though.
To rank Eurovision songs, not Eurovisn't songs. Oh my God.
Ranking Eurovision songs, that would be much worse than Black of All.
That would be, well, no, both would be bad, but yeah. Wow. Yeah. What was I going to say?
For the tanking jury, we had a sheet where we would rank and tank the songs, and people like to decorate with different kinds of spam and pictures around the ranking. And I thought that would be really fun to do with Eurovision, but there was never an intention for sheets to be this complex and detailed.
No way, yeah. And wow, we just accrued so many things over the years that of what essentially was going to be just artist name and title, you know?
And the funny thing is, so many of us that have been here since the start didn't have a particular penchant for music, but have become great musicians with the help of Eurovisn't slowly becoming a music contest.
Exactly, yeah, it's been blessed. Also, people learning graphical art just because of Eurovisn't as well.
Oh, absolutely. Look at my first entries and look at where I am today.
Yeah, high key same.
Absolutamente. Now, song number 14, we had Mariam V and the Oxymated Polyphonic Rave Project with the song Lurgjim Tvare.
Interesting entry.
They had a fair amount of Khinkali on the
I recall it being
sheet.
like a lot, yeah.
I'm going to try to count how many there are.
I bet at least like
63 on this sheet.
Oh,
and there's an additional 15 here, and presumably this is another 5. So that's, how many did I say? 73? Beautiful.
Yeah. That's insane.
There was not a lot of effort put into this, and I'm in space, you're in space, he's in space. Galactical cheese. Blue Moon, the Blue Moon, made out of blue cheese. Blue Moon, the Blue Moon, don't forget the crackers. This is fucking deep.
This feels like something somebody wrote on peyote or something, you know?
On what?
On peyote or some kind of mad drug, you know?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, by the way, the interactions with the tweet. Lek was savage. Oh my God. Lek said, I think this is bottom 5. Amazed disqualified.
Yeah, I honestly, sometimes I kind of miss that time when we would just be entirely blunt in our predictions. And like, when something was not good, we would just say, this is fucking flopping. I loved the liberty, the freedom of speech. It was so fun.
Oh, wow.
I know you're not a fan, but I loved it.
I mean...
But hey, Lek has reserved some of that tough love. And I appreciate him for that. You're a true OG, Lek.
Me too. I'm very glad we have Lek through all these years. And what was I going to say? Honestly, he spilled with that one because that was just bizarre. But
I
yes,
don't know how that qualified, because I look back at the semis of Eurovision 1 and I'm so disappointed that songs didn't make it, particular songs like Bulgaria's Violet Blur
that was
and
beautiful. Yeah.
Poland's Dwie Róże.
Oh yeah, and that was like not even close, was it?
It wasn't very close, no.
Yeah,
What
it
were the songs that just missed out?
So the songs that just missed out, because 12 came from each semi in those days. So the 13th,
in those days, in that one edition where we didn't have AQs figured out yet.
In 13th place in semi-final 1 was Leila Mesrour with Sunset on the City.
Oh, I did like that. That was sent by Juliette, who was her first blind out of delegation. And it was kind of conveyed through Svai into creation. And it was pretty good as a concept.
It was
one of the
nice,
very few serious entries of that edition.
It was nice. It was very nice. And then,
by the way, speaking of Lek appreciation, are you aware that an award was given for for contribution to the community?
Community, yes.
Yeah,
I remember this.
It was given to Lek, I think, in Eurovision 3, and it was never given again.
Wow. We should give it out again.
I planned to make it a thing, and I simply forgot I did it back in Eurovision 4. And
you
then
were like,
it was gone.
Only Lek deserved this. Like, no other of you Schmendricks deserve this. You're done. But what was we gonna say? Oh yeah, and in the other semi, the one that barely missed out was "Why Am I Here? I'm a Copy." Parentheses. Zoo Hacker Remix. Close parentheses.
Yeah, that doesn't sound like an entry that I miss in the final.
Do you remember when people thought that was going to be a huge thing, Zoo Hacker Remix?
Oh yeah, the people were going to do... And the one that ended up being iconic was Soy la Princess Peach. Cash App.
Oh, Soy la Princess... Wow. That is something that is just part of our culture, Eat at Starbucks.
Si no sabes quién soy, si no sabes quién soy, si no sabes quién soy. Soy la princesa Rosalina y estoy aquí.
For whatever you may need, but if you need me to go, all you have to do is Venmo. Wow, que temazo. Yes.
Song number 15 was Finland, Ricky featuring the Emeralds, She Came at Dusk.
Oh yes, speaking of OGs from one to the other, from Lek to Louis. Yeah, this is one of the songs that was made after the edition, and it's a really nice composition, actually.
Wow, I forgot that happened. I don't remember what that song goes like right now. I listened to it for a ranking that we did for Louis' birthday, which, by the way, just happened a week ago, so I imagine it was a year and a week ago. And I do remember liking it.
It was really nice. The vibes were immaculate, yeah.
Oh my god, the lyrics from songlyricgenerator.com.
She gets on with life as a heartbreaker. She's a mysterious kind of gal. She likes walking on Sundays. She likes celebrating in the week. She likes to contemplate sunsets. But when she starts to daydream, her mind's... This came from a generator, right?
Mm-hmm.
But this sounds legit like...
It was.
For example,
Belarus used the same generator, and we forced them to change their lyrics. Because, sure, we don't have non-tangible property yet, but we do have, I guess, rules set in place against plagiarism?
Wait, so both of them use the same generator?
Yes. Because for some reason, Louis did not believe they possessed the ability to write lyrics yet. So they decided to rely on the kindness of internet generators.
and then somebody else used the exact same one, and it produced the similar lines.
It produced other lines that included, she gets on with life as a noun. She's a adjective kind of gal. She likes verb on Sundays. She likes verb in the week. It's very, very basic.
Oh, this structure is reminding me of some of the Klaus Gibraltar entries. But I think
God, this, it feels so long ago. It feels like in, real life time, it happened in like 2011, 2012, where like early the internet wasn't developed enough to have like, artificial intelligence generators of text that you could ask to make songs for you, which we've had a few AI generated lyrics already in Eurovisn't, but there was AI back in August 2021 as well. We just didn't use them yet.
Yeah, and yet people did not avail. It's strange.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah.
So entry number 16 is actually my own. And it is not a creation I'm deeply proud of.
Well, I remember you even saying in the sheet that it's a terrible song.
Oh, no. I very much... Okay, because the idea was, since then the song was released, and it's not loud, screeching, booming noise like I originally imagined it. It's just
echoing.
But yeah, originally it was supposed to be extremely loud and annoying to the point where you couldn't listen to it. But also people were supposed to just appreciate it because they are seeing the concept of loneliness, which is like an out-of-body experience where you finally learn what concepts look like.
This is reminding me of when a couple editions later, I think, you did the best song you've ever heard or something like that.
Yeah, that participated in Melodifestivalen too, and it remains, by the way, the most polarizing Melodifestivalen entry of all time.
Because it's just silence, right?
It was not silence. It was, I recorded the fan in my living room, and I looped it several times in multiple layers to the point where it made like a weird whooshing sound, like. And I said, what was it? Was it a cosmic intervention? Cosmic intervention with the song, the best song you've ever heard. And I think it was Lek that predicted that was going to win Eurovisn't. And it ended up coming 5th in Melodifestivalen after very, very decisively winning the winning the Deltavling, winning like the semifinal with almost all of the possible points. And then in the final, people couldn't decide whether they were still going with the act and giving it the 12 points or just not giving it points at all. And it ended up resulting in a very funny outcome, but it placed 5th overall and didn't go to Eurovision. But hey, we did win that edition.
Yeah, I mean, I was Team Schwentel from the very beginning, that edition, so I'm glad you sent an incredible rap and not footage of your fan.
I mean, I have lots of fans now.
Wow. You know what we should do someday is do a vote on MV1 with the songs, because we never voted on the songs at the time.
We should. Honestly, that's such a good, like, off-season activity.
Oh, and you know what else as well? Imagine if I make songs from the Kylas without songs. And we see who would love
that. I would love that. The songs that you made for Ostreit were incredible.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. I'm glad some people like them. Yeah. I'm really glad.
Some people?
Well, I mean, the voting populace was maybe 10 odds. So, yeah, I doubt that many people have heard them.
But yeah. Chanson numero 17 was San Marino, Beretta Martinelli with Amore nel cielo.
Oh God, did you intentionally invoke Tristan just then, by the way?
As I was saying it, thought to myself, wow, that kind of sounded like Tristan. Let's
'cause he
not
said
invoke his name. And then you
chanson.
promptly did.
Well, what can I say? I love breaking taboos, you know?
Yes, absolutely.
So he said like chanson numero due or something like that, I recall.
He did, yes.
Yeah. But yes, canzone numero 17, you know?
Yes.
San,
This was
San
Beretta
Marino.
Martinelli, who, by the way, her never part, this was kind of, honestly, now in retrospect, I'm able to say that her never part is kind of groundbreaking because it was a face morph of two artists that Marlon, the Samarinese head of delegation, liked.
Oh, wow.
It is pretty good for Eurovision 1 standards. This is a pretty good, one of them being Yulia Sanina, by the way. Yeah,
Who was
this
the
is pretty
other
good
one?
for Eurovision 1 standards.
I should have known that Yulia was going to be one of them. Who's the other?
Wow, I don't remember. There's some chance that it's mentioned here. At the age of 9, she was diagnosed with homophobia, a rare genetic disorder affecting her eyes.
Wow.
Vamos.
Oh, and also we've got the Valentina Monet reference, of course.
Yes, we have literal Eurovision references, like direct references to the existence of Eurovision. Every other sheet.
Yeah, pretty much. But
and then, speaking of Eurovision references, this next act is the one that is the actual how the fuck did this make the final? It is Norway's Burning Hearts with Fallen Empires. Now, I'm going to read the entire sheet to you. Vote for Norway or Evil Kaino will hunt you at 3 a.m. and sing driver's license while they bury you under a monument. Staging concept, ruined abbey but at night, lots of fire and pyro. Song concept, a punk rock powerhouse song, massive crowd pleaser. Yeah, tell us if we are pleased or not. Amaranth appreciation post, which is just, I don't know, a bad take in general. And then a picture of Niall Horan with the text, "Why are you so rude to me?" Captioned, "Me to people who don't vote for Norway." This made the final.
Well, this is one of many moments when Norway made the final or almost did, and it just confounded everyone.
Yeah.
Because didn't they make it or almost make it with pretty much... They almost made it just by copying Reign of Revolution.
Yes, that is correct. This happened.
Yeah.
Leaving that for a different episode. By the way, the artist, the singer from Burning Hearts, actually passed away before the final.
Oh, wow.
Which is something that I constantly forget. Their lead singer died.
This is part of why Louis had the idea for the finish line, because there were so many artists dying just randomly at that time. You know, meanwhile, we had artists who were like almost 100 years old and they were just perfectly fine. But
Genovaite ended up passing away, which I respect Lex so much for. I'm so happy she died. I didn't mean it like that. I'm so sorry.
Quotation for the evening. I'm so happy she died.
No, this was in voice form. You don't get to put it on EV out of context.
Oh, wow. I wish, what was I gonna say? We can get that little part of the audio where you say, "I'm so happy she died." Clip that part and upload it, so there we go.
Anyway, wow. Song number 19. I didn't remember this was so late in the running order because, as you've mentioned, the first few songs of the running order were so packed. But yeah, song number 19 was Australia, Ashley Garnier, Spiders, who is Ashley a potential participant for Eurovisn't 26.
Yes, EV1 is still making a splash 26 years later, you know?
Yeah, and we just had Vincent and the Grenadines confirmed as the Monegasque Act. So we know an act is coming 24 years later back to the contest. And now Ashley Garnier might do it 25 years later.
Yeah, I have to think that she's one of the front runners because truly iconic act. And this was, you know, people think that the auge, like the boom of promo, was with the Cones in the following year.
Mm-hmm.
But in reality, Australia was doing it from the first year as well. There was a lot of Ashley content.
This was a masterclass in promotion because none of us had actually figured it out before Australia did like all these wee blogsn't interviews and Vogue covers and breaking news, and yeah, it was very overwhelming, but in a very good way.
Oh, there was plenty to eat, you know, in a good way. And wait, didn't you have to intervene because wee blogs were telling you can have this little thing, but don't have any?
This happened, but not on this one, not on this occasion. It happened with Morgane, the UK head of delegation, which I'm sure we'll speak of very soon, who in her Eurovision 2 or 3 national selection made like a Wee Blogs article, a very believable Wee Blogs article, like screenshot, where it says, "We're spilling the tea. The United Kingdom announces a new televised national selection for Eurovision, or a new national selection." It did not say Eurovision, so it was genuinely believable, and it was called like, please give us a winner, please.
Yes, that is what it was.
And I was contacted by Wee Blogs asking me to take that off. Because it looked so believable that people could think that's an actual news article and connect that with the Wee Blogs misinforming people.
And it had plenty of likes. And as we know, likes are live.
For Ashley Garnier.
What's that? Say that again.
Actually did not have such legal issues with the Wee Blogs public relations.
Well, I'm glad to hear that. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, this was again, you know, one of the entries of the first EV that, you know, showed what was possible in terms of additional resources and what we could do for promo. And definitely, like, there's few names from this first edition that you could bring back 25 years later and be like, wow, that's a big name still.
Mm-hmm.
But Ashley is definitely one of them.
And Ashley's grown so much. Her Never part was literally Britney Spears, and now she's just her own person.
Yes, we love to see that.
Oh god. And I'm seeing what the next entry is.
Oh, I remember that Australia was surrounded by two interesting entries, so to speak.
Interesting is the right word, yes.
Interesting in the British sense.
Exactly.
Because it was the Vox fans, right?
Yes, for Spain.
Which didn't actually...
this was the lowest ranked finalist in EV250.
Wow. Wait,
it placed like 15th from the bottom in, I think, the second, I think, EV250, because the first one, all the songs were in the 250 because there were 253 Eurovision songs at the time.
Kacper of Poland says, and I don't know if you know this tea yet, Lauren, how topical. Noche Entera Girly would love this.
No.
See?
No.
See? So she was there, Vico. She was at some award ceremony the other night, right?
Mm-hmm.
And she had to choose somebody to eliminate. It was like one of these like casual interview things. Choose somebody to eliminate, and there were some really bad people on the list, like Abascal, the head of Vox.
Mm-hmm.
But she chose to eliminate.
Abascal Daddy.
¿Cómo?
Abascal Daddy.
I refuse to say that. So
Say it.
What? No.
Say it.
No.
I'll get someone else to host the Eurovisn't podcast with me.
You can't do that. I'll just explode the server. You know?
Okay, if you're hearing any background noise, I'm sorry. It's because I'm pouring Coca-Cola from one bottle to another.
Oh, you gotta tell him why.
You can inform them while I do so.
Oh, well, how kind of you to tell me to, right? So basically, Lauren asked me earlier tonight
I had a
thought,
quarrel for you.
yeah, she had a quarrel, and I was like, is that a quarrel and a query mixed into one? You know, a quarrel? And
Just a very aggressive question.
yeah. Well, what was I going to say? Lauren said, and I thought this was just some test to see if I could maths tonight, you know? Yeah, I honestly thought you were just testing me randomly. I was something like, if I take a bottle and well, you got to say it yourself, girl. I don't do justice to your.
The way I like to drink my Coca-Cola is with 30% the carbon dioxide, it's called. Carbon dioxide content of a regular Coca-Cola. And Aga likes it, Aga, my girlfriend, likes it the regular way. So is it fair to take out the fizziness of the Coca-Cola? And Aviera just told me, move part of the Coca-Cola to a different bottle. And I was like, oh, that's right.
Lauren was like, Aviera, you're a genius. And I was like, thank you. You know? And I was like, did you genuinely not think of that?
I did not. I absolutely did not.
Well, I'm glad to help you avoid quarrels about your quarrels. I'm glad you're.
Thank you,
glad to
Aviera.
reduce your number of quarrels, couple.
Now I will have less quarrels.
Well, that's good. We love to see less quarrels. Quarrels are bad. But but yeah, to return to the topic, because you were trying to get me to say that horrible phrase, which I won't.
Abascal Daddy.
Stop saying it, girl. Stop it.
I can say whatever I want to.
No, you can. Remember, I'm the mother of this server. I can tell you to stop saying things.
I think the creator is more powerful than the mother.
Wow. We see your true side now. But anyway, Abascal was there, but she eliminated Pedro Sanchez instead.
Oh no. That is the worst way you could finish that sentence.
Not just that, but also she was asked what she thought of Ayuso, who is not for nothing called La Trump Española.
Mm-hmm.
And she was like, oh, she's perfect. Sin defectos.
No.
Sí. So Vico is one of these turkeys voting for Christmas.
Oh,
sadly.
That's terrible. That's abysmal, Daddy.
Well, stop saying that word. Why do you keep saying
Now
it?
here's song number 21. War Cry, The Baltic Revolution by Baltia.
Oh, yeah. Now, this was a sleigh. The idea being that it was a band of members from all of the Baltic states, and it was inspired by the revolution, the Singing Revolution, I believe.
Mm-hmm. And we kind of have, and that's not something I can say about any of the other finalists of this edition or any of the other participants of this edition. This kind of has visual language that is still retained in Lithuania's entries nowadays. It obviously improved dramatically, but I am seeing hints of it in the upper left corner.
Yes, that is true. That is
Ooh,
true.
Caillou adds that Spiders was actually the first song that I produced for Eurovisn't. And that is correct. I made a cover of Spiders in the run-up for Eurovision because I really liked its lyrics and I wanted to put it to music. And
Oh, wow.
it was the first time I actually made music on Soundtrap in a Eurovision-related context. And honestly, without that, I would probably not have had songs in Melodifestivalen 2, the very next edition, because I realized that it was so quick, the process of making a song. And I was just like, yeah, fuck it, I'll do it. I had all the time in the world. I was living in my own apartment in the middle of fucking nowhere, Horsens, Denmark. And I was just like, fuck it, I could afford to make 28 songs over the next month.
Well, what was I gonna say? That's so funny. These sliding doors moments where something that might be forgotten, in terms of that was the first ever EV production that you made, ended up changing EV itself. You know,
all the mentions of 21. Oh my god, this is so unlek-like though.
All the mentions of
21, the meme.
Oh, wait, what is that meme? What is this thing?
How much is 9 plus 10?
9 plus 10?
21.
Come look at 21.
It's this kid that doesn't know math, and someone asks him, what's 9 plus 10? And he says, 21.
Okay. Wow. But
and this is also funny because this makes me feel like that meme was relevant during Eurovision 1 because Eurovision 1 does feel like so long ago. This is a meme from like 2012.
Yeah, that's true. There's a lot of things in those early years that like dated above 2021, you know?
Mm-hmm.
For sure. But
wait, let me check when that meme is from. 9 plus 10 is 21 is from 9 years ago, so 2014.
Oh, wow.
And Seán guessed it. I think 2014, that is correct.
What was I going to say? This, the whole, what is also kind of lekor about the first entry that he did was that there was like a big story going with the participation, that of like, will they, won't they, with two of the members, you know? Mm-hmm. Wow. But yeah, this was really underrated. Like,
it was underrated, if I remember correctly.
Didn't it end up like 20-something or 19?
It did end up 20-something,
yeah. Wow.
It may have ended up in 21.
That would be
No,
curious.
I don't think it did.
It ended in...
we would never hear the end of it if it did place 21st.
It ended in 23?
23rd? Yeah.
23rd, below Abascal Daddy, por favor. Oh no, I even said... Madre mía.
You said it!
Wow. Are you happy? Are you happy, Lauren?
And then song number 22 was Ana Mendonça with Foda-se, which also has a mention of calm in the colors of the Portuguese flag.
Wow. First song in EV with profanity in the title, I think.
It may have been. I
think it was.
Lyrics are very intriguing.
Yeah. By the way, I'm going to tell you something funny.
Do tell
me. I had no idea that Ana Mendonça's Never Part was Ana Moura.
Mm.
And Ana Moura is, of course, the Never Part for Pérola do Tejo.
That's wild. I didn't know that.
Yeah. And
does this still have the best Portuguese results? Caio asks. And I was just going to say, this came 10th This was the only top 10 result for Portugal in such a long time. Becky, as the Portuguese head of delegation, kept coming like 13th, 11th. I think equaled the 10th maybe one time, but did not better it. And then EV25, last edition, finally, Portugal did place above a 10th in 8th and got the best Portuguese result. But I was waiting so fucking long for this moment.
Thank heavens for that. Like, this is such a random thing to have kept being the number one for so long for the country.
This is another one where I don't know who the head of delegation was.
Oh, good question. Good question.
Portugal is coming for the top 5 results, yeah.
Let's see. I'm just looking at the interactions and somebody's like, I really like it. Anybody who dislikes it, vá te foder. Oh my god. Oh, now, Watermelon Seed. This was iconic. Oh my god. By the way, anybody listening, do not take this as a prompt to tag Chrysalis, because, you know, they need to be left in peace.
Yes. If we leave Chrysalis be, they may come back. Just the gratitude of being left alone with their muse to write their song.
The moment when I saw people who have less concept of who Chrysalis is than who, you know, Turkmenbashi is, I knew that, like, Chrysalis was not going to be like, yeah, I'm going to come back. Some rando who I never had any interactions with has demanded it, screaming in all caps.
I was talking about how we peer pressured Nezumi into rejoining Eurovisn't, and it worked so well because it was authentic, because all these people really wanted Nezumi back.
Yeah.
And with Chrysalis, we might really, really, really desire Chrysalis's return, but a lot of people don't know who that is. And, like, I wish they did.
Yeah. Well, this is hopefully part
But they were asked to do it. Yeah. I should put this as a disclaimer. They were fully asked to do it. And that was a mistake on my part. And sorry to Chrysalis and everyone who I peer pressured into peer pressuring Chrysalis. Not my best take, but hey, we've got 41 participants already confirmed for Eurovisn't 26.
That's great.
We're going to make this edition.
Hopefully we get Chrysalis back in the end too, sooner rather than later, because they have a very original voice, and, like, in terms of their entries, are always super creative.
If this year really is the renaissance of the joke entry, which was a conception that kind of started with the thought that Luxembourg would be sending a joke entry, but I think that's not happening. I think that's probably not happening.
I don't know. I mean, we have relatively few votes, so anything could happen. And plus, there's a bunch of other NFs coming up.
But I was going to say Australia is very much a candidate to be sending a joke entry this year. Sweden is very much a candidate to be sending a joke entry this year, because we will, according to the polls, be having quite an amount of joke entries. If this is indeed the renaissance of the joke entry, I would love to see Latvia with the joke entry again. I would love to see not Latvia, but Chrysalis.
Yeah, absolutely. Chrysalis coming back would be amazing. But yeah, hopefully. But yeah, Watermelon Seed, the lyricism was incredible. The whole execution of the promo was amazing.
For perfection. I think I gave that 12 points.
I think you did. Yeah.
Wow, this is... We were talking about anachronistic because Eurovision feels like so long ago. Might have heard a song about me, Watermelon Sugar. Watermelon Sugar surely came out between, like, Eurovision 14 and 15.
What?
Watermelon Sugar.
Watermelon Sugar came out in, like, 2019, girl, no?
It did.
Yeah.
It came out 17th of November 2019. It It feels to me like it came out a lot later than Eurovision 1.
Evie is just messing with our entire concept of time perception. Let's face it.
Mm-hmm. Anyway, this was Italy's EV24, EV24, not EV24, not quite. Evie's EV1 entry performing 24th. Ragazzo Balcone with Erika e il Reggiseno Scompare. This was such a promising national final. Faux Remo.
Faux Remo was fun, yeah. Originally.
Mm-hmm.
You know? What was I going to say? So this was based on the dude who, during the pandemic, another reason why, the first editions of Eevee feel like they took place in 2020, is this dude who went onto the balcony of his house and he sang songs like Sincero,
Mm-hmm.
That was where Svai got this from.
And then the very last entry of the final. I'm so glad we've finally finished going over this final. Oh, I did this one with the wrong link. It was... wow, this grand final actually ended with 2 banned Eurovision heads of delegations.
Oh, wow. What are the chances? They came up together.
I think the 2 only ones, actually.
Wow.
That participated in Eurovision 1.
That's kind of impressive. That there was only 2, given that some years there was like 6, at least. Wait, was there
and Morgane. So this is Morgane. She was the head of delegation of the UK. I have to say, this is a fantastically crafted entry. This came mid-table. This looks so good. This was such a good idea. I loved this entry. I can't believe it did as poorly as it did in that edition.
Neither can I. Like, this national final was quite a serve, actually. It was quite funny and quite varied,
Unfortunately, Morgane had a meltdown. We had a spin-off called Make Lauren Upsetvisn't, and I said that it was okay to misgender me. If you want to make me upset, that's a pretty good way to do it, misgender me. And Morgane, who is also trans, was not having it, that people were misgendering me, and started lashing out at people and blocking people.
We
were like, no, this is all in good taste. This is all in good humor. She was just not having it. And was blocking everyone who liked posts who liked like the posts about Make Lauren Upsetvisn't. And that's how we got Likes Don't Lie.
Likes Don't Lie. Likes Don't Lie. But I remember my submission for Make Lauren Upsetvisn't was just this. Like that.
It was just a space. And I loved it and hated it at the same time because it made me upset that you put no effort whatsoever into your entry, which in turn made it a pretty good entry.
That was precisely what I was thinking. I
but
thought outside the box.
Upsetvisn't was really cursed because I had to give the win to someone who made me genuinely upset, which was Rodrigo. He managed to actually make me like pretty uncomfortable, and that's how he got the win, and that's why we never did that contest again.
You see, that's part of why I left it just as blank. I didn't actually want to make you, but I had the feeling that it would get under your skin that somebody who was already pretty close to you would just.
I don't remember how well that did.
It came like 5th or 6th, I think.
Okay,
yeah.
That's fair. That sounds right.
We did make Aviera Upsetvisn't. Well, that's an ongoing thing. That was an ongoing thing.
No, we did do a Make Aviera Upsetvisn't
we did a specific spin-off,
but it was just like 3-word sentences. It was limited to 3-word sentences.
Yes, it was. But what was I going to say? Make Aviera Upsetvisn't preceded Make Lauren Upsetvisn't. And it was this ongoing thing. I remember the night that my plane got cancelled, and y'all were talking about in the EV chat about Petra Meda coming to do something to me, and that's when Pedro What?
What is that?
Yeah, we were in the EV chat. This was like January 2022, I think.
Mm-hmm.
And you were talking about Petra Mierda. And then also, that's the night that Pedro Martinez was born. The guy who wanted to steal my organs, remember?
My God. Oh, I forgot about that. Oh my God, you're bringing so many old Eurovisn't memories back. And I can't believe this happened when I was like 20 years old. I can't believe this wasn't back from like my late childhood.
Right? It's so surreal. But yeah, basically, Make Aviera Upset was some ongoing thing. And I would say at the end of the day, yeah, the winner of Make Aviera Upset is Fulanito, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Wow. But luckily, it never got as cursed as I remember Nezami went production value on her one.
Nezami went harder on Make Lauren upsetvisn't than anyone had ever went on Eurovisn't.
Yeah, Nezami made some
She made like full files of police reports about me murdering my grandmother.
That was intense. That was so.
It was insane. It was insane. I loved it so much that it genuinely deserved last place because it did not make me upset at all. It made me actually very, very pleased that she went.
I remember she even went. See, this was the opposite of mine. I knew that I would piss you off more than Nezami because Nezami popped her entire ass into this one and just spent hours on it, you know. And also, I remember you said she used your favorite picture at the time of you.
That's true. That's true. But she wrote. She managed to like get it in there. She used that picture that I loved, and under it she wrote, "The suspect," in parentheses, male.
Oh my God! Yeah,
But she got one detail off so badly that it in turn kind of made me upset.
What detail was that?
He said I had killed my grandmother, right?
Yeah.
And she said an old woman in the Agam household had been killed. And my grandmother's name is not Agam. My last name is Agam, but I'm a first generation Agam.
First generation? How is that?
Because it's some sort of combination of my parents' names, which of course I would love to combine my name with the last name of my future wife, but I don't think it'll go that well.
Oh, it's like if there was a Smith and a Jones, and the kid was called Smones.
Kind of.
Wow!
It obviously didn't go that well, but it's kind of like a sort of combination. They just settled on having that name because they didn't want to go with like the very patriarchal system that we have here.
Makes sense.
No, yeah, so my last name is Agam, with the emphasis on the second syllable, and my girlfriend's last name is Aga, with a stress on the first syllable. So we kind of started referring to ourselves as Agam.
Or you could get rid of the M and you just say it with tones like Aga.
Yeah, no, that would just sound like Aga's name, but with a very weird tonation to it. If anything, we would make it Aga.
Which sounds very much like a core. Core! Oh my God. So
anyway,
that was
so glad we got Eurovision 1 out of the way.
Yes.
Can we look forward into Eurovision 26?
looking forward into Eurovision 26. Yeah, let's go.
We have the host city.
We do, and it was Trenčín for the Trenwin, which we love. All these suckers who were doing Bratislava for the Bratislava win. That does not work.
Know, I am a Bratislava fan. I am a Bratislave all the way. Oh my god, I'm a Bratislave.
Oh my god, that's two actual things.
Yeah, from very much the same universe, and they go hand in hand so well.
Oh.
I would love to go on record here on the Eurovision podcast, episode 2, 1 hour 25 into the episode, and just put it out there into the world that I am a Bratislave.
Well, I applaud you, Lauren.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Openness. Yeah,
it was very brave of me, you know.
It was very brave. You're a brave.
It was brave. It was brave in the British, in the British sense.
It was brave to Slava.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
brave to Slava.
Brave to Slava. Brave to Slava. Brave to Slava. But what was I going to say? No, we got Trenčín for the Trenwin, and God, it looks beautiful.
Yes,
I can't wait.
Yeah, I watched in my free time the Eurovisn't this week. I don't know if you've seen it on the Eurovisn't YouTube channel. And I heard that 4 songs were already selected for this Eurovisn't edition.
Wow, cette édition de Zérovision.
De Zérovision. Oh my god, you came up with Zérovision as the French name for Eurovisn't back in literally the first edition.
Way back. I was like, yeah, I don't want any fucking Eurovisn't or some shit like that. We're gonna have
I like Eurovisn't. No, but Zérovision is better.
Zérovision is a cut above. Let's face
I like
it.
the variety. When I chose Melodifestivalen as the name of my national final for Eurovisn't, I didn't mean that other countries would just throw in fake into their like Montevisi fake.
Oh, do you know? Do you remember when you said? Do you remember when you said that one of your biggest accomplishments was to get people referring to Eurovision as EV?
Yes.
Instead of ESCant. Pues,
yeah.
Even more of accomplishment is getting people to refer to Melodifestivalen as MV rather than
Melodifestivalen.
Remember, we came up with some bizarre, like, it was this Hungarian guy, Melodifestivalen, and that's, you know, it's named after Melodifestivalen. Yeah. Wow.
Oh god. I just remembered that I managed to convince everyone to refer to Melodifestivalen as MV. And then I just realized when we moved to the Discord server that Montevisia already used MV.
Wow. I mean, you had more dibs given that you have done it almost pretty much uninterruptedly, whereas we had 3 or 4 I can't even say it, editions of that.
Pues, before we had the national channels, which, by the way, was the way I thought it should have always been, just putting it out there. Before we had the national channels, we had the national finals, which were, you know, MV, KLE, AF for Ozzyfest, etc. And they were all written like that because for some reason we didn't think we could do channel lengths that were larger than 4 letters, but like we have Bosnia Herzegovina now, no one's stopping us. So yeah, I was MV and Montevisia had to settle for MVZ. That was so wrong.
Well, wrong in an etymological sense, but right in a usage sense. Like you've already convinced everybody that MV was you. You know.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. So, anyway, where are we
Yes.
going?
I would like to introduce a new event on the EV podcast.
Oh, wow.
Now, a few days earlier, I made an open call for participants, for like Eurovisn't podcast fans that would like to participate in a game of Citation Needed. Now, Citation Needed is a game in which I have a Wikipedia article in front of me, and I read information from the Wikipedia article, and people make guesses as to what will appear later on on the article, which is a very fun game. It was created by the Technical Difficulties, who I like very much, despite their egregious opinions about the Eurovision Song Contest.
Absolutely. So heinous, their highness. Yeah.
I made an open call for participants, and I completely forgot that I did that. So that's discarded. Anyone who wants to play can just let us know right here on the chat, and we'll pick a bunch of you. If there's more than 2 of you that wish to participate alongside Aviera, I guess we'll just pick some names from a hat.
We can,
there's
yeah,
already at
we
least
can
4.
do the spinner thing. You know.
Ooh, you want to do the spinner thing?
We could, yeah.
We've got Adam, Sarah, Kacper, and Seán wanting to participate. If anyone else also wishes to, you've got like a minute to say before Aviera pulls out her magic wheel and chooses the lucky 2 that will get to compete against her.
Yes.
So yeah, just a brief collection of the rules. I have a Wikipedia article in front of me, and I tell you about the subject. The participants don't know what the article is about, and they have to make guesses about what the article is about. And as I give more information, they can try to predict what's the next thing that's going to happen in the article. It's very fun. You get a point for every time you guess something correctly. And I mean, in the original game, played by the Technical Difficulties, there's not much of a consistency to the rules. You can get a point for pretty much anything. So even if your guess makes me laugh or is interesting or is correct but doesn't appear on the article and I learn something new, you can get a point. So it's a fun game of throwing ideas into the air and hoping they get received well.
Indeed, it is. So, do we have any other names thrown into the hat?
I think it's just Adam, Sarah, Kacper, and Seán, but just before... Oh, Carly as well. Carly. I pronounced that very Italianly.
Carly stasera vuole
Carliciotta.
parlare con noi. Wow.
Do any of you know what the Remedia affair is?
Well, you know.
I'll be writing it. Remedia affair. Sarah, Seán, Carly, and Adam all confirm that they... Oh, and Kacper now as well. Nobody knows what the Remedia affair is, so this will be our first subject for Citation Needed. Aviera, who will be competing against you in the first round?
Let's see. I've added this random wheel to the server. So we're going to check it out now. So the names are Seán, wait, I don't know how to do this. Separated by space or comma. Seán, Kacper, Carly.
Aviera, Aki asks an important question. Do you know what the Remedia affair is?
No, and I already said I didn't.
Okay. Vamos.
Yeah. Seán, Kacper, Carly, Adam, and Who else? Sarah. Anybody else?
No.
D'accord. Okay.
Who are the
So-
unlucky two that will have to compete against you? Wheel of Names draws.
It's thinking. Aviera spins a wheel. Oh, this is camp. Adam.
The winner
Right.
is Adam.
Yay!
Okay,
Okay.
Adam, you can now unmute and join us here.
Yeah, you can join the world of the voiced.
Right.
Right.
Okay.
Hello,
Okay,
Adam.
and then wheel list.
Hey.
So, Katsper, Carly, Sarah, Seán, right?
Yes.
Oh, girl, please stop saying that word. Okay.
The Wheel of Names is thinking.
Here we go.
Aviera spins a wheel. Who gets to compete against Adam and Aviera? It's Seán.
The N disappeared, and
Also known as
Now-
Shaw.
No, he's just C.
now just known as Shaw. There we go.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Shaw.
Hello, Seán.
Hello, Shaw.
Sure.
Shaw. There we go.
I sound
Shaw.
like I'm saying sure in like a really like redneck accent, like sure, honey.
Shaw.
Shaw. Oh my god. Wow, this is exciting.
All right. I will be now reading the Wikipedia article about the Remedia affair. None of you know what that is. Of course, you are strictly banned from Googling it. And when I ask a question, you will have to send the letter B as follows in the EV podcast channel to ring the buzzer to answer the question, and whoever writes B first gets the right away to answer the question.
This
But of
isn't
course,
some
at any
trap
point,
this isn't some trap to make Barco angry, is it?
no, Barco is not angry at the letter B. He's actually very fond of it. Only if I ask a question, you have to send the letter B. If I'm just speaking and you want to throw a guess in, just chime in while I'm speaking. Feel free. Are you ready to
We
go?
We do.
Yeah.
Is anyone able to count the points as we go along? I'll be saying who gets a point. And Kasper, you're willing to tally up the points? If you get a right answer, I will say that's a point for Aviera, that's a point for Seán, that's a point for Adam. And obviously those are not counted. The points that I just said, those are not valid. Those were example points. In the original version of Citation Needed, by the way, they have a separate rubric alongside points, which is mystery biscuits, which are given to especially good answers. So I will not do that, but I do hope that the winner, the one who gets the most points, does get themselves some pretty good biscuits to celebrate. Now,
Wow.
the Remedia affair. Any guesses on what the Remedia affair may have been?
I would say something to do with maybe medicine or something like that.
Okay,
Is Remedia
Adam?
like remedy?
Adam?
I have the same idea, but remedy as in the /never Estilal song, and it talks about the affair when Elena fell during the semifinal.
That's a great guess, but a very wrong answer. And Seán?
Is it a psychological effect?
It
I know
is.
that's
It is not a psychological effect. I do have to give a point here to Aviera because this is related to medicine.
Yeah.
But you gotta buzz in. You gotta buzz in. If Adam had given that answer, I would have also given him a point, but he kind of threw it away. So the Remedia affair. Are you guys ready? The Remedia affair was a series of events that took place on November 7th, 2003, which led to the collapse of Remedia Incorporated. Now, Remedia Incorporated was a company that sold. Seán, do tell.
Or did they sell insulin?
Did they sell what?
Insulin.
Insulin. Not quite. They sold a food item.
Ooh, a medical food item.
Yes.
Are we allowed to buzz in again, or?
You can throw in guesses if there's complete silence, I guess.
Okay. Is it?
Oh, maybe. What if it's like those herbal teas with like supposed to that are like supposed to heal you in ways?
That's an interesting guess. It's no, not quite. Not quite. It is, however, something that you use to procure a drink.
To procure a drink? What do you mean by that?
You use it, okay, so you mix it with water and you get a drink out of it.
Oh,
is it like
Aviera.
Like baby formula?
That is correct. Remedia sold baby formula. That is a point for Aviera. Remedia Incorporated was an Israeli baby food company specializing in soy-based alternative for breast milk. The formula itself was created by a German company named Humana. In March 2003, Humana ran a few tests. Now, Humana already suffered from a bad reputation in Israel due to what?
Well, punt here.
The devil's in the detail. One.
Sorry?
Did you buzz in for that?
Oh yeah, I did. I was going to say corruption.
Not quite, no. It was something a lot more superficial. Adam?
Wait, didn't Aviera buzz before me?
Did Aviera want to say something?
Oh, I put B. It was a questioning B, but yeah. So they were in trouble specifically in Israel.
Yes.
Was it because they didn't keep the traditional Sabbath?
No, but it is related to certain opposition to Jews.
Certain opposition to?
To Jews, to Judaism.
Oh my god.
So I guess it isn't just that it wasn't like kosher or something.
No. It was actually kosher because it was soy-based.
Right.
Okay.
But it was because they were German. We are talking about 50-some years after the Holocaust. Still many children of survivors becoming parents.
Oh.
So Remedia had a really bad starting point.
Don't tell me that they were around at the time of the Holocaust.
No, surely not. I'm sure it was later. But Israel had a very hard time healing from the wound of the Holocaust. So Germany still had a very bad reputation. Anyway, they managed to get over that. They controlled 33% of the breast milk alternative market in Israel. So in March of 2003, they started running some tests, and they decided to make a change in their formula. Minds at work. Adam, do tell.
Maybe they decided to switch from alternative, like plant-based baby formula to standard baby formula.
I mean, standard baby formula is plant-based, but no,
Is it?
It is, yeah. They ran a few tests to see that it had all the right nutrients And they decided to make one slight minor detail change. Seán, any ideas?
Did they add an ingredient that had lactose in it?
That's a good guess, but it's not right. Aviera?
So in a baby powder, I guess there's all kinds of different nutrients, right?
Mm-hmm.
So did they be like, they cut costs and they decided, oh, let's take one of them out.
That is
reduce the
absolutely
amount.
correct.
For real?
That
Oh my
is
God.
correct.
What?
They just said, pues, we have enough vitamins. We'll just take one out. That is a point for Aviera. Do you want to guess which one they took out?
Wow. Well, it's not going to be vitamin C. Not going to be vitamin D. Oof.
It's not vitamin C, but it is vitamin.
Oh, it's
D?
Wait.
Oh, sorry. It was vitamin B1.
oh.
It was vitamin B1, also known as thiamine.
Thiamine.
Yes.
Huh.
So they decided to inform Remedia, the company that sold it here in Israel. They decided to inform Remedia of this change via email. What actions did Remedia take?
Let's see.
Aviera?
Absolutely no action.
Absolutely no action is ding, ding, ding correct. That is a point for Aviera, who is kind of running away with it now.
Oh my God. I thought I'd just say it because they sound inept,
Yes.
but I didn't think I'd get it.
So we said this happened March 2003, and the incident itself was discovered in November 2003. So that's 8 months of faulty Remedia produce. So there were babies that only consumed their formula for 0 to 6 month olds for that entire duration. So babies kept getting to hospitals in Israel with strange symptoms. Anyone, you can just guess the symptoms. Just throw them into the air.
I don't know, like a deficiency of some sort or something.
There was certainly a deficiency, specifically a deficiency of vitamin B1, but what did it cause them to do?
Did it cause eczema?
It did not, no.
No.
Deficiency of vitamin B. Like rickets?
They suffered from apathy, seizures.
Apathy?
Apathy, yes.
Apathy?
Had no reactions to things.
Apathetic baby. It's like
Yeah.
they show them the Teletubbies and the kid is like, no, bored.
I'm not having it.
Not having it. Fucking show them the Tweenies or some shit and they're like, no, this is bullshit. You're giving them some rust.
Seizures, and this one is really fucking scary. Rapid eye movement when awake.
Rapid? Like they just be like blinking off and on.
Their eyes were just going all directions.
Oh, that would freak me out.
Yeah, that would.
It sure did
like
freak Israeli hospitals out in 2003. So, general knowledge question time. What is vitamin B1 responsible for in the body?
Oh, I was never taught this.
Yeah, same. And I did like home ec for.
Yeah, I have no idea.
So, according to Wikipedia, vitamin B1 is responsible for the metabolism of carbohydrates and creates the foundation of the nervous system in babies. So it's pretty fucking crucial to have vitamin B1 in your formula for the first few months of your life.
Oh shit.
Oh,
So wait. Your nervous system depends on it.
Yes, it does.
Oh, wow.
So over the 20 years that have passed since the Remedia affair, which, by the way, yesterday was the 20-year anniversary of the Remedia affair, which
Wow.
I had not realized until now. So during the 20 years, exactly 20 years since this happened, at least 5 people have died. As recently as 2018, people are still dying from autoimmune diseases caused by this.
Wow, just because one company was like, yeah, there's enough vitamins for one day.
Yeah, which just goes to show vitamins are really important. Don't give up on them.
Take your vitamins, say your prayers. You know?
Drink breast
Never
milk.
trust. Never. Oh my god. Oh. Never trust Germans, says Kacper from Poland.
So see if you can fill the ending of the sentence. I was born in Israel in 2002. People 1 year younger than me tend to be
prematurely dead.
Sorry.
Not quite. Adam?
I don't know. People,
Seán?
wait. Could you repeat it?
People 1 year younger than me, as in people born in 2003 in Israel, tend to be?
Dead.
No, they don't tend to be dead, but they do tend to be disabled.
Wow.
Quite a massive amount of them are disabled. We said 33% of the market was owned by them, so that's 1/3 of the babies born in 2003 that drank milk formula growing up. That's a pretty decent amount. So many of them have a severe immune system disorder. So it goes cerebral palsy, some comas actually, quite a few cases of scoliosis. But it's become quite a phenomenon in Israeli culture that kids born in that time frame between early 2003 and mid 2003, they're called the Remedia kids, and this is still a thing.
Oh my
that is
god!
talked about here to this day because
God, it's like thalidomide kids, but
yeah.
Wow.
So they're like 20, 21 years old by now. So there have been several researches done on the Remedia kids. There was a group of 250 kids that were known to take Remedia in that 8-month period that there was a vitamin B1 deficiency in there. A whopping 80% of them have, guess.
Cerebral palsy.
Cerebral palsy is a little harsh. They have something much lighter, much less noticeable.
Mild retardation.
They are actually equally as intelligent as a non-Remedia kid, but their language skills were hurt. 80% of them have what?
Autism?
Not autism.
Like dyslexia or something?
Something speech-related.
Like a lisp?
They have a lisp. 80% of them have a
really?
lisp. That's a point for Aviera.
That's random.
And over 50% of them have something that many of us have.
ADHD?
ADHD, that's a point for Seán.
Say, I'm actually on the board.
They also learn to speak their native language, Hebrew or Arabic, at a much later age, about a year slower on average.
Oh, wow.
So if the average kid learned to speak their first language at 15 months, they would not develop that ability until they were over 2 years old.
Oh my god.
Oh my god.
That's wild.
Now, only a few days after this all happened, Remedia ceased operations. Can you guess why the company went bankrupt? Because this was way too early for sales to drop to the point where they would go bankrupt. Why do you think they went bankrupt?
So it's not because of the sales.
It was not.
It was it some
Adam,
kind of...
Can I go? I think that it was still way too expensive for them to produce it even without the vitamin B1, and they just couldn't make it.
They were actually doing really well.
Oh.
Money-wise, they were actually doing pretty well. Seán,
Was it because they overpaid people?
because they overpaid people?
Yeah.
They overpaid specific people.
They overpaid
Oh.
management?
I'm going to give you the point for that, Seán, but you have to be more specific.
Okay.
Adam?
Like the CEO of the company took way too much money and I don't know.
No, not quite. It's a much more benign reason. Thankfully.
Huh.
The answer is they had to pay the medical bills of so many young children,
Oh.
giving an average of 100,000 shekels, roughly, which is about 15,000 pounds at the time, to every family that purchased their products during the 8 months prior.
Oh my god.
This was quite an amount. Any guesses as to how the hospitals found out about the connection between all the sick babies and the Remedia formula?
Well, that's a good question.
Adam?
They all came in with the same amount of money.
No, not quite. But yeah, you had like a bunch of babies just lining up to the hospital, and they all had the same symptoms, and it was a very, very strange occurrence. But they couldn't quite figure out what it was. At what point did the hospital go, oh, okay, this was because of Remedia?
Oh,
Aviera?
okay. Was it because they gave a different like formula to some parents, and that's how they noticed?
I mean, that's a really nice guess. It's very like educated about the history of science and medicine. But I mean, it's a lot simpler than that. The nurse was just asking the parents, "What formula did you use?" And she got it on the nose, and she just the nurse literally made a guess and saved so many lives just by guessing.
Oh wow! So it was just the
Wow.
nurse. One nurse pieced it together.
Mhm.
Wow.
Kind of by accident, but she became kind of a national hero at the time. I knew her name once, but I'm not seeing it on the article.
Oh my god. Single-handedly taking down our entire company. That's so real.
So
What a slay!
3 years later, Remedia refounded in 2006. And their new name was kind of on the nose. If anyone wants to take a guess. Yeah, Seán.
It's like
Was it
They really wanted to like rebrand.
was it something like Health Plus?
Come again?
Health Plus.
Well, not really. It's very, very reminiscent of their old name, but with a very on the nose twist.
Remedia Plus. I'm just gonna say that.
Aviera?
something that also ends in ia, I suppose, or
It was just New Remedia.
No. No.
No.
They renamed themselves New Remedia.
Well,
Now, we said they
It's like-
previously had a market share of 33%, which is very high, 1/3 of the market. That was their all-time high before their collapse. And now, how high do you think they went on their comeback? Sean,
5%.
5%?
Yeah.
Let's hear all the guesses. Adam?
I think it was closer to like 1, maybe less than that.
And Aviera?
Okay, I'm gonna go the opposite side. Although I would have said like Adam really low, but I'll say like 15%.
So this point is going to go to Adam, who was closest. They had reached around 0.4% of the market
That
share.
makes sense. That makes sense.
That does
Like
make sense.
it's
And
like
this time went bankrupt because of sales.
it's like you love the disabled your kids. Try the new Remedia. God knows what will happen with this one.
Exactly. It did not go particularly well. Anyway, this concludes the story, but I just want to let you know that the way it all wrapped up eventually was that in the year 2013, all 7 doctors responsible for the faulty Remedia formula were found guilty of. Sean?
Medical malpractice?
That I guess that is the correct term, but that's not what they went to prison for. Adam?
I would say something like I don't know what the correct term would be, but like purposely damaging the lives of people, like I don't know. I don't know.
That's not right. There is going to be a point for Sean for that. But also, okay, Aviera?
Wouldn't it be like just like criminal negligence or something like that?
So yeah, criminal negligence is what I'm giving the point to Sean for. But they also went to prison for involuntary manslaughter.
Oh, makes sense.
Vamos!
Yeah,
Involuntary manslaughter. Anyway,
Right.
that's our game. Thank you for listening. Thank you for finding out more about the Remedia affair and the beautiful history of this great nation.
What a cheerful thing to start this game off with, Lauren.
Yes. No, so we have our final result. Aviera is the winner of our first round with 5 points. Sean came second with 3 points. And Adam, unfortunately, is not our winner today with just 1 point.
At least I got a point. I'm very happy.
You did get a point. What did you get a point for? Oh, for guessing their market share.
Yes.
Yes. 5-3-1. Very, very nice. Thank you for participating. Aviera, that was a very deserved win.
Thank you.
I had another round prepared, but I think we'll save that for the next podcast. Seeing as we're already more than 2 minutes, 2 hours into this episode.
Yes.
But we can definitely keep going.
We can. Yeah, that was great fun. Yeah, thanks for putting that together.
Yeah. We'll have another very cheerful one for the next episode.
Incredible. Well, who didn't get to play who wanted to? Kacper, Sarah, and Carly, right?
Mm-hmm. Could we do a second round now?
We could, or we could do some other game that includes some of the listeners.
Let's do a poll. Another round?
I have a game as well. Like,
what's your game?
Okay, so my game is a game where somebody emails. Well, emails the ego. Somebody DMs every person who's playing with a category, except one person who is the imposter and has to guess what the category is, and everybody votes to see who is the imposter. It was quite fun.
it's really fun. But I think we could do that on game night.
We could, yeah. Wow.
Anyway, let's see what the results of our another round poll are like. There is a demand to keep going with other subjects, I think. But it was really fun to do. And I mean, I kept coming up with more ideas for it since we decided that we were doing this for for this podcast. It's a really fun game to come up with the subjects for, because you need to find something that just keeps going with more surprising details. And I have only ever heard Citation Needed played with a heavy British accent, so I kept writing messages for myself and reading them with the Tom Scott accent. Which is terrible. It's a terrible accent. I can't do a British accent.
What was I going to say? Where is your accent from then, Lauren?
My American accent?
Yeah. Like
my British accent definitely isn't from anywhere. We covered this earlier.
Casper says, did you see Tom Scott
is coming to an end?
No. Why?
Is that real?
No, I thought he'd be going until the end of the time, until the ocean swallowed the seas, you know?
No lo sabía. ¿Cómo?
Until the end of the year. Why? God, I'm going to feel bereaved without this dude on the thing. Like, he's one of the constants for so long. If I recall correctly, he's just out of topics. He should come to Extremadura. I have like 20 videos he could do. Like,
I literally remember he said, like, not too long ago, like 3 or 4 years ago, he said, like, Tom Scott said, like, I have like an almost unlimited amount of videos. I'll never run out.
Yeah, how could you run out? I mean, wow. I wish I had his money and I would go around the world talking to random people about crazy stuff. But anyway,
I would like to say, because Adam was talking about the 20-year anniversary of Remedia's bankruptcy, I would like to say that this whole thing actually exploded on November 10th. So we still have a couple more days.
Ooh.
And that's 20 years to the day since like the whole the fall of Remedia actually happened.
Wow. But yes, about your accent, Lauren. Like, where did you pick it up?
I have never lived in the US. I mean, I can do a very convincing American accent, but it's just like a combination of everything that I've picked up from like TV shows that I watched growing up. So I guess it's like part Los Angeles and part New York, and I have some friends from Boston, I guess.
Have you ever done the New York Times dialect test?
No, I don't think I have.
Oh, wow. Would you like to do it?
I would.
Okay, so these are about 20 questions, and
that would be a great way to pass the time that we don't have.
They have 20 questions that will supposedly determine where your accent is from. So let's start with number 1.
Oh no, by the title, how y'all use and you guys talk. I already know this is going to be skewed because I do say use, but that is courtesy of my Scottish ex-girlfriend and has nothing to do with the American culture that I've absorbed.
Wow, this is the fun thing about the quiz. It's like, it isn't necessarily precisely because of the American accent you might have developed. It's also other influences. So
Wow.
that's the first question, actually. How would you address a group of two or more people? You would say use.
I'd say use. Spelled
Nothing else.
Y-O-U-S, though, not Y-O-U-S-E. That doesn't make sense to me.
Yeah. Okay, so let's see. All right. Next one. What do you call the area of grass in the middle of some streets?
Ooh, what are the options?
The options are boulevard,
Mm-hmm.
midway, traffic
Mhm.
island.
Yeah, I call it a traffic island.
Okay, there we go.
I didn't
Next
understand what this was about until you mentioned traffic island, which is just the way you say it in Hebrew translated into English.
Likewise, yeah, I had no idea until that.
Isla de tráfico?
I've heard of traffic island. But anyway, what do you call the small freshwater lobster found in lakes and streams?
I feel like this is more of a general knowledge quiz.
Crawfish, crayfish, crawdaddy, mudbug, or I have no word for this critter.
I am unfamiliar with the creature.
It's some weird lobster-like thing that, as they say,
I suppose I
smaller than a
don't
lobster.
have a word for it because I've never heard of such a thing.
Honestly, I've never seen one either. Okay. What do you call the small road that runs along the highway? You know, if your car breaks down, you
Mhm.
know, that's where you go. Frontage road, service
Mhm.
road, access road, feeder road, gateway.
That would be an access road.
Okay. What do you call the large wild cat native to the Americas?
The options being
Well, let me show you the picture first. Okay, one of these things. Let me show you. Here we go. It's loading.
this.
Yeah.
That is that a jaguar?
No. It's a cougar or a puma or a mountain lion or a panther or a mountain cat.
I wouldn't call this a panther, but I would call this a puma, I guess.
Okay. Yeah, panther I always assumed was like black.
No, I mean, panthers are, if I'm not mistaken, just tigers when they're in mating season.
What? See, I look for panther, and the first things that come out are black panther. You know.
Mm-hmm.
All right, next one. What do you call a long sandwich? You know, like you get one from, for example, Subway. Other sandwich shops exist though.
Mm-hmm.
What would you call
I mean,
that?
like a sub? Like a foot long?
There we go. Sub. There we go.
Okay.
Okay. How do you say somebody who practices, who works in the court? They can be prosecution or defense.
A lawyer?
Say that again.
A lawyer?
And now say just the first syllable.
Law?
What? Wait, you would say lawyer and not lawyer. Is that right?
Lawyer?
See, when you say it together, it sounds like you're saying lawyer. Rhymes with boyer. But when you said it separately, it sounded like or.
Lawyer.
Yeah.
Law. Lawyer.
So you're saying rhymes with floor or rhymes with boy?
The first syllable of lawyer rhymes with que? What are the options?
Boy or flaw?
More like boy, lawyer. Yeah, I
Rhymes
hear
with
that.
boy. Yeah?
Yeah, it's not lawyer, but yeah, it's
Okay.
it's lawyer. Yeah.
How do you
I
say
go boy.
Maria in English?
Mary,
How do you say feliz, like Feliz Navidad?
like happy.
Well, the other word for it,
Oh, Mary. Yeah. Mary
and
is
how do you
Mary.
and how would you say, get wedded to someone?
Yeah, I would say Mary. Mary.
So
Mary will
if you were
marry
to
someone and be very merry.
if you would pronounce all these the same way,
Mary, Mary, Mary. I think I pronounce them all the same way, yeah.
your marry is a little bit different.
Mary, Mary, and Mary. I hear
Yeah.
slight differences.
There we go. I'm marking that as the marry is different. I say them all differently. Mary, Mary, marry.
Yeah, no, those
Okay.
are stark differences. For me, those are like light.
What do you call the sweet spread that you put on a cake?
Like icing?
There we go. What do you call a large motor vehicle that carries freight?
Like freight train?
But on the motorway.
Oh, a lorry. Yeah.
A lorry, there we go. Okay. What do you call a traffic jam that is caused because there was an accident and drivers stop or slow down to look at the accident?
Is there a specific word for that specific type of traffic jam?
Supposedly in America, I have heard none of these.
What are the
Rubbernecking,
options? Oh, okay.
rubbernecking,
No rubbernecking.
Gaper's block, Looky Loo, Curiosity Delay, Gawk Block. Well, I have no word for this. I guess that would be your choice, right?
I mean, I've heard of rubbernecking from Everything, but I'll have to go. I have no word for it because I would never call it anything other than a traffic jam.
Okay, how do you say these two words?
I say caught and caught. Those are exactly the same.
Okay, whereas I say caught and caught, so
Caught.
it's different. But no, caught.
Caught.
Okay, now this is
caught.
Erdu caught. Do you have another word to describe something that is diagonal?
No creo.
All of these are weird. Kitty corner, kitty wampus.
I don't think I do.
The house is kitty wampus to our house. That's just so strange.
Yeah, no, I
Okay.
don't think I have another word for that.
What do you call it when the sun is shining but the rain is falling?
I've heard that there's like different dialect words for it. Like
Yeah.
the devil's kissing his wife or something.
Yes.
But no, that's too regional for me. I don't have a word for that.
Okay. I would say sun shower there.
That's cute
All
too.
right. Thank you. What do you call the insect that flies around in summer and glows in the dark?
Like a glow bug?
A glow bug?
Is that a thing?
No, that's no option. There's lightning
a
bug.
firefly?
Firefly. There we go. Firefly. What do you call the rubber sole shoes worn in gym class?
Oh. I mean, sneakers and tennis shoes will both be options, I imagine.
They are, yeah. Which would you use more?
I would definitely use sneakers more, but I do use both, and I understand that tennis shoes is very, like, regional.
Okay.
I would say sneakers.
Read out this sentence.
Where have you been?
Rhymes with sin, right?
Yeah, it's exactly the same word as like trash bin, garbage bin.
Trash bin. What is dinner and what is supper?
The same thing.
For real?
Yes, we have talked about this, that we disagree on this. I eat lunch
Yeah.
at 3 p.m. and I eat dinner and or supper at 7 or 8 p.m.
That's wild to me. Supper is some light ass. Like, I might have supper and it'll just be a cracker with some cheese or something, or.
Oh, I get what
know.
you're saying. But supper is less intense than a dinner. Like, for dinner, you bring your family and you sit down, eat dinner. But supper is like lighter. I don't make that distinction. The only difference for me is like supper is like more posh.
Supper. Candlelight supper. Okay. What do you call it when several roads meet in a circle?
Oh, a roundabout?
There we go. Yeah,
Okay,
me
yes.
too. What you call
roundabout?
What you call a liquor store that you can drive through?
A drive-through liquor store?
That sounds like a fucking recipe for disaster, right? You go there in your car, load up with whiskey, vodka. I'm gonna put. Did you ever hear of such? Brew through, party barn, beer barn, bootlegger, beverage barn. We have these in my area, but no special term, or I have never heard of such a thing.
I have never heard of such a thing. I did not know that was a thing until now.
This is supposedly a thing in the Deep South.
Oh, vamos.
Well, that
makes sense.
That is
I've never heard of it.
How do you say this word?
Ooh. I'm kind of afraid of what's about to come out of my mouth. Wait. Hey, I'm drinking some Coca-Cola. It has a caramel flavoring in it. It's caramel.
3 syllables, right?
Yes.
Me too.
Although the middle one is a schwa.
Caramel, right?
Caramel.
Because, wow, you get plenty of Americans who just say caramel as if it were the girl's name. How do you say this word?
By the way, I say the drag queen's name as the caramel. So the second syllable really does get pronounced. I say pajamas.
Yeah. Pajamas. You don't say pajamas, right? You say pajamas.
No. That's the thing? Pajamas?
Pajamas is the thing, supposedly. Yeah. But
I thought the issue would be between pajamas and pajamas.
Pajamas is something that is like, it's a big, like, old US versus new US distinction. Because everywhere, like, east of the Mississippi, except for, like, the Rust Bowl says pajamas. And then all the New West says pajamas. How do you say this word?
Crayon.
2 syllables, right?
Of course. Crayon?
Some people say cram. Cram. Yeah. What would you call it when you sell a bunch of random stuff on your yard?
A garage sale.
A garage sale.
Okay. Garage sale.
And the last question. Coca-Cola or Sprite or Fanta are...
Soda. Unfortunately, I just don't have a better word for it. I would never say pop.
Oh.
I'd never
Yeah,
say
I
a
would-
fizzy.
I would say pop or fizzy drinks, yeah.
They're sodas. But at the end of the day, that's technically correct. It's carbonated water with additional flavoring. So it's
Okay,
soda.
are you ready to know where your accent is most similar to?
Yes, please do tell me.
Okay, so your accent is actually most similar to California, New
Really?
England, and Hawaii. Hawaii,
Hawaii.
remember me. So that is your map.
Hawaii. Okay, it's kind of
Hawaii.
relieving to know I'm similar to the Bostonian accent. Right, that's Boston in the very dark red there.
Yes. Yeah, I think Boston would be like your fourth. So the
Miami as
cities,
well. So basically all the main regions of American media.
the cities you're least like are New Orleans,
Mm-hmm.
and then two cities in Ohio, Toledo and Akron.
Figures, yeah. Okay, so I'm not very Midwestern at all.
You're not Midwestern. You're very coastal.
I'm very coastal. I like being coastal. I like
Yeah.
living from coast to coast.
Always be coastal, never go postal. That's what I say.
Yeah,
Right.
totally.
Lauren,
Yes.
I think maybe we should wrap it up there, right?
We should probably wrap it up there. We've been holding the people up for 2.5 hours.
Wow.
On a Wednesday night.
But hopefully...
Set us free!
Set me free, oh my god. Wow. But hopefully you all enjoyed. And yeah, next time we'll do more games. The other thing that you've prepared, right? Of Citation Needed and
Absolutely.
a few other
And
things.
we didn't get to do any of the dulls today. Wordle, Semantle, Worldle, etc. So I guess we
Oh,
saved
that's one
that
thing to
for
do.
the next episode.
And we also have a bunch of things that were on a list that we just didn't get around to at all. But we'll
As
do them next
usual,
time
I
as
think
well.
we should just prepare like 3 items.
Oh, you know, the day we do that is the day that we're like, we breeze through them, and then we're like, "Estachemos sad," you know.
That's right. I'm still paranoid. When we start a podcast, I'm just like, wait, what if we just won't speak? As if that's possible with the two of us.
I find that really unlikely indeed. Oh my god.
Okay. Thank you all for joining us.
Yeah,
Especially you, Craig, but you can go now. Thank you all for joining us for this wonderful episode of the EV podcast. We are here every Wednesday without fail, at 10 p.m. Eurovisn't time. We hope to see you again next time.
Yes. Come back next time. Thanks for coming. Good night,
Bye.
everybody. See you soon.